Welcome and welcome to my amazing co-host Joy. I just want to get some light on the subject here. We've got some more people coming on. Joy, are you with us?
There we are. I can hear you.
There we go. Now I can hear you. Fantastic. Welcome, Joy. All right. Got some. Let's hope no technical challenges and losing Wi-Fi connections is what's happened to me repeatedly today. Care of our wonderful electricity supplier.
I'm having problems just getting into my laptop, so I'm going to have to do the call on my cell phone.
Well, hey, we got to do what we got to do, so it's good stuff.
That's right.
All right, well, where are we now? We're on 8:01. I think as people come on, we're going to just get cracking. We don't want to delay for anybody who is coming on time. So welcome. I would love to find out, and the chat box is still open. So I'd love you to put in the chat box where you're actually joining us from. I'm in Cape Town at the moment, in South Africa. So please do share. Where are you from? Put in the chat box so those people who are new or joining for maybe the second or third time, you can have a look at what an international community we are. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that shortly. So my name is Tim Wagner. I'm going to introduce you to Joy, who I've known for many years now, probably a good, about 5 or 6 years ago. We've had multiple different opportunities. We've worked with each other, and Joy has got a fantastic way of sharing information about her experiences in corporate. She is from a traditional corporate background for many, many years, but was absolutely fed up and frustrated when she realized what the pittance she was getting from a retirement annuity or retirement fund. Said she's never going to be able to live on that. So she started broaching outside of her comfort zone and researching a lot of different styles of online opportunities or networking, or different business structures where she could get direct reward for her efforts put in. So Joy's got a huge passion she always seems to be traveling around the country. She loves animals, she loves countryside, she loves going out and seeing and also sharing about our beautiful country with many tourists. I often see that she's doing that. So Joy's knowledge in corporate, as well as her passion for people and wildlife and animals, just suits so well to Gift of Legacy, which we're going to be speaking to you about. So I'm going to hand you over to Joy, and you'll hear more from me shortly. That's if my co-host is here.
Yeah, I'm muted.
Oh, you're on. You got some feedback now. Is your laptop on?
Yeah, I've got my laptop on.
Oh, you're gonna have to turn one of them off.
Okay, let me switch. Hey now. Is that better, Tim?
No, if you've got two items, you're gonna echo.
We just. Oh,
Don't we love technology?
Last thing I want is that when you're ready. I take what you asked. Now let me go.
All right, you're gonna have to turn something off there, Joy.
no.
Any trouble? Joins his pals.
Oh, Tim. How do I switch my cell phone off? I think I've switched it off. No,
No, we're still got an echo. You've got two devices on.
Oh, Tim, how do I switch my cell phone off? Just hang on a while. Sorry, guys.
Close it. All right. So I tell you what, while Joy, I'm just going to mute you, Joy. When you're finished, you come back on. Very frustrating with technologies. It's happened to me before. It happens to all of us. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start having a chat with you anyway. So we're dealing with a very unique economy. I think everybody agrees on that. Over the last 2.5 years, our worlds have all been turned upside down. If you've been fortunate enough to have retained your income and your business, you've been seen as essential workers, or you've managed to keep your business going, if it's your own, congratulations. But the question always comes in, what's going to happen next time? Because if you think we're in the clear and it's never going to happen again, well, that was just the beginning of a changed economic world. So looking outside of the traditional paradigms of where we're used to getting our income from is essential for anybody in this day and age. Now, I've been personally in online businesses full-time in the last 4 years, but for the last 6 years have been online. And I've come across multiple different income sources and income streams, be it in cryptocurrencies or investments online, and I've lost a huge amount of money. Well, I don't like to say I've lost money. I've had very expensive university fees. So if you're here and you're looking at it with a little bit of skepticism because you've been invited to online presentations or opportunities before, you're in very good company, because I sat exactly where you were. In fact, 1.5 years ago, I sat there. And I just lost a huge amount of money in an online advertising agency where the partner ran off with our money. A number of us lost very, very heavily. And he's still not been seen since, 1.5 years later. So I'm not too sure. Maybe he's underground somewhere. Not by choice. But in the end, the result of it was a near complete wipeout. So when I came across Gifting Economy, there was a number of things which caught my attention very, very strongly. And I'm going to call those golden nuggets as I go through to indicate to you, from my knowledge and experience in 6 years being online, why this gifting economy solved so many of the problems that exist in online structures. So I'm not sure what's happened to my co-host. She's having technical challenges. I know her power is off. So I'm going to just share my screen, jump straight in, and we will hear from Joy shortly. There we go. So as I start, please do make notes if you've got any questions. We're not doing probably not going to do a Q&A today. We'll see how it finishes up if we do have some time. If we do, we'll open up. Otherwise, get back to the person who invited you to answer some questions. Okay, Joy says she is back on. Let's have a look. We want to quickly grab her, make her co-host, unmute her, and she's going to just start us off. You back?
Am I back now, Tim?
Yay! Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for the patience, and thanks for having confidence that I can actually do the little bit of the Zoom call tonight. And just thank you very much to everybody who's on the call. A welcome to all the new members. Tim, I know you did a little bit introduction on yourself. Yes, I've also known Tim for a couple of years, as he said. We don't have much time, so I'll get straight into the presentation. Perfect. So if you can just click on Tim. Where's the... Okay, as you know, none of us who are doing Gift of Legacy are financial advisors. We just giving advice from what we have learned and what we know. We're not neither the presenter nor Gift of Legacy registered financial or tax advisors, and the information given is only intended to give examples of what a participant may expect. In other words, we're just sharing what we have already achieved. We are sharing what we would like you to achieve. Introduction. Okay, Gift of Legacy is a gifting activity which is supported by a unique algorithm that drives a sustainable movement of gifts between individuals globally. What does that mean? Just basically means it's a smooth, seamless movement of money between people all over the world. In other words, it's a peer-to-peer. We don't go through banks or institutions like that. A new economic paradigm is replacing outdated traditional structures that no longer serve society. In other words, we're looking for different ways that we can be in control of our own money. And it is time to join together to thrive and not merely survive. And surviving is what I used to do, as Tim mentioned earlier. Okay, so who is Gift of Legacy for? I personally think gift of legacy is for all of us, because we all believe, who believes in the principle of sowing and reaping? Who wants more? Do you want to give? If you don't give, you'll never receive, and we've got to learn to say thank you. Do you enjoy blessing someone that you don't even know? That is what is so amazing about gift of legacy. Do you want to take control of your life, especially your monetary wise, as well as your time? And the most important, you like helping others succeed in life. It's always wonderful to see others succeed, and then you can always reap the benefits of helping others as well. Does this resonate with you? If so, stay glued to the presentation. We'll let you know further what is happening.
Wonderful, Joy. Thanks so much for that. So, global gifting activity. No limitation of borders and members in over 100 countries. Now, this was one of my golden nuggets, as there's no restrictions. And one of the big reasons why, I'll explain to you in detail shortly, is the gift of legacy holds no money. Uplifting communities and about ourselves. This is creating abundance and encouraging self-development. Now, self-development's a key part of this. As coming into this environment, whatever your corporate background or your traditional business background is, the skills that you have learned over the years of running or doing that might not be duplicatable or usable in this environment. I'm from hospitality for 27 years, and if I just took that knowledge and tried to apply it here, I would not be talking to you this evening. I've had to understand the importance of learning some new things, and we've got something great we're going to be introducing to you right at the end, where we've got some phenomenal tools for you to learn to make the most out of what Gift of Legacy has for you. Now, why would you not want to learn new skills if you could then make the money that I'm going to be sharing with you? Sacred economics has been around for centuries and traces back to the modern culture, the 1960s. I'm not going to go through the history of it with you, but to say that it's not new. So if you've never heard of gifting economy, as I hadn't before January of last year, perhaps you were just not ready for it. It's 100% legal, but it's been off the mainstream system for years. And in Africa, we call it Ubuntu culture. This is just about communities helping one another. The one thing that I've learned over the last year in traveling throughout South Africa, my wife and I have been traveling excessively, is that the areas that are growing, the areas that are not just surviving, but they actually have not been implicated negatively very much by the economic mess that we're all sitting in, are the communities where each supports each other. And this is the way the world is beginning to work, where instead of just becoming more and more and more open and more decentralized around the world, the economies are coming to communities, and communities helping each other is exactly what a gifting economy is created for. Blessing millions. Well, Gift of Legacy has moved over $42 million since January when it was launched. So it was launched on the back end of many years, of a couple of decades, or just over a decade, I should say, experience in another gifting structure, which needed developing and growing. And that's exactly what's happened. That's a lot of money to be moved around the world from member to member. It's a decentralized platform with no company, institution, broker, or trader. Very simply, Gift of Legacy is an interactive website that all it does is introduce one person to another who then shares gifts. We call them money-moving gifts, hence Gift of Legacy. And all you need to do to operate this is have a computer, smartphone, any cell phone, WhatsApp and Telegram, so you communicate effectively, and you go online, and it's as simple as that. Here's another golden nugget, peer-to-peer. The money moves person to person, directly from one individual to the next. No third party, no tokens, no anything else. It is as risk-free as you can find, being that there's no money held on a platform. Now, I've been involved in way too many organizations who've disappeared with my money. My business partner in advertising disappeared with our money. So this is the first time I've come across a true structure where the money moves person to person, and you no longer have to ask somebody for your money, or you're restricted on your withdrawal through time. And so the money is not held to pay other people, meaning that it's not a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme or one of those funny other schemes and scams that people hear about. It can't be, because the platform has no money. Perpetual income to me is an amazing concept. I worked 27 years in hospitality. Every single job that I've had, when I had my own business, I had a lot of corporate clients. As soon as I finished those contracts or those jobs, they stopped paying me. It doesn't matter how much blood, sweat, and tears I put into that business, how many hours I worked that I did not get paid. That's what you do in hospitality. All the work that I did when I left there, no one paid me for it when after I left. Does that happen to you as well? So what if you could do work once by following a set, repeatable system? Do it once to get given gifts over and over and over again. So you'll notice that this is very different from anything you would have been involved in or seen before. And perhaps what you're going to need to do is actually have a look at this a couple of times. I needed to really grasp. It took me a while. In fact, I started to receive my first gifts when I then started to really connect as what was possible. We're a community with the same vision. We want to change lives, not only our own, putting our own oxygen mask on first, but helping those around us. And we do this by riding the boards of abundance. So now I've gone through a little bit of the why we're here and why you would want to join. So let's have a look at what you actually have to do. We're going to be following the yellow circles there and following 4 boards, $100, $400, $16, and $5,000. Now at this point you're going to turn around and say, well, what is it? Where does this money come from? Well, there's 2 requirements. The first is everybody brings in $100. Once off, only time. The next thing you do is share this with other like-minded, like-hearted people who you would like to also see improve their lives just the same as you. There's some other big numbers on the screen here. Just have a look at them, but I'm not going to talk about them. I've been around for long enough to know being shown big numbers does not necessarily mean I'm ever going to get there. So all that I'm going to say to you is keep a tab of that number and let's see if it's possible for you to receive that amount of money over whatever period of time. Let's get started. When you register, very simple registration process. Being the fact that Gift of Legacy holds no money, it's a very simple process where you just enter your email address, username, password, and your cell phone number, and off you go. Once you join, you gift the legend. I'll explain that to you now. $100, once off, only time ever. Pure peer-to-peer. The system will introduce you to the person you're going to gift. You speak to each other, and you send the gift. Typically, internationally, I've done many different countries around the world and needed to learn how to send money outside of the banking system. You can do internally in your own country, bank transfer, easy enough. But internationally, when the big numbers come, cryptocurrencies is probably the most easiest, cheapest, and most advisable. But Airtime, PayPal, WorldRemit, Revolut, there's multiple different things, structures to send money very easily and cost effectively around the world these days, and we'll train you how to do that. When I started, I had no idea how to do it apart from cryptocurrency. Now, it's an easy process. So when you start on a board, you enter and you gift $100. When you leave the board, you receive $800. Now somebody's going to say, even though I've told you it's not, you're going to say it's a pyramid scheme. I'm not going to answer that. You'll answer it as we go along as to why it isn't. This is what a board looks like. You'll see at the bottom, you've got gifter, builder, guide. The left hemisphere and the right hemisphere are mirrored. In the center, you've got the legend. The legend is the one who receives the money. So you join as a gifter and you gift the legend. So once you've registered, you'll see on the computer system their email address and cell phone number. You'll reach out to the legend. You say, hi, Mr. Legend, my name is so-and-so. I'm new on your board. I have $100. How would you like to receive the gift? The legend will reply and say, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I see from your cell phone number you're in a different country. You're in Spain, so I'm happy to receive it in cryptocurrencies or PayPal or Airtime. As a legend, you'd always want to make it multiple choices for the new gifter coming on to gift you. Why not? You're going to receive $100. Make it easy for the person to send you the money. The gifter sends the legend the money. Once the legend's received $100, then the gifter is accepted on the board and can begin the journey. Now, at this point, I would like to highlight why we do dollars. The US dollar is at this stage still deemed as the main world currency, and everybody around the world, typically it's very easy to find out what your currency's value is against the US dollar. So in South Africa, if I'm gifting Joy, I'm going to give Joy $100, but in rands. And if the exchange rate at the moment is 1,700 rand, that's what I'm going to gift her. So you always want to make sure that the legend receives the full gift. Okay, so what happens next? Well, the other gifters also join the board. They're brought in by their colleagues and friends and family. And you can see it doesn't have to come in as exactly the way the structure is shown on here. It's very uniform, but in the end, you get the idea. $800 the legend receives. Yes, $100 in, $800 at the end of the board. What happens then? Well, that board's finished. It's full. All the positions are done, so it's closed. 2 new boards are created by new legends. You move up from the gifter to the builder position. What is your job as a builder? Your job is to bring in 2 like-minded people. Only 2. This is a bare minimum. Bring in multiples, more, speed you up, create a lineage, get you moving, get your results a lot quicker. We just work on the bare minimum here. You bring in friend A and friend B. The other people will bring in people as well. And so they come in. Once again, all 8 gifts are received. This board is now complete. Legends received $800. The legend goes off the top, and I'll show you just now where they go, because they carry on a cycle, that perpetual income. You move up to the guide. This is when it starts getting exciting, as you know that just a little bit of work that you need to help your people you brought in, A and B, which are now builders, and you become a legend in your own right. But here's an amazing thing that happens now. Once you're helping your 2 people bring in their 2, so A brings in C and D, and B brings in E and F, you have now finished your side of the board, and perhaps the other side's going a bit slower. If your hemisphere is finished first, you don't have to wait for them. You will go off this onto your own board as a legend, and now it's your turn to receive. You'll notice that the 2 people you brought in form as guides on either side of you, and their job is now to help their builders, the 2 that they brought in, to bring in theirs. But this is where it's amazing. As the $100 that comes in, all comes to you. It's your turn to sit back and enjoy the gifts of abundance. You need to receive all $800. Now what happens? Well, this board is finished. You will then go to the bottom of a new $100 board and the bottom of a new $400 board. This is what it looks like. Let's go back to that original board that you were on, where you completed it before the right-hand side. So remember, it was split in 2. Yours was finished. The other board was still busy. Well, let's say they've brought in 2 more people. They're going a little bit slower than you. We don't want to leave people behind. So the system is going to put you onto this board and your perpetual position. So you're a perpetual position because this is your second $100 board. And those people are new. You're going to help them move along, and all that needs to happen is 1 more gift to come, and then that board is completely finished. This is what the money looks like. You've received $800, but not all $800 is yours. We have an economy. This is gift of legacy. It is a gifting economy. What happens in an economy? Money needs to move. If you take the $800 and disappear, that's called a recession. You've stopped moving money. Now, we don't want a recession. We want a vibrant economy. So if you've received 800, it's not all yours. You're going to hold on to some of that. 400 of it, you're going to put onto the next board. That's the silver board. And $100 of it, you're going to put onto your perpetual position on the bronze board, which I've already shown you, meaning that you've got $300 in your pocket. Now, it's not a business, but I'm a business guy. So I look at it from a business perspective. $100 was my expense. Although it wasn't an expense, I gave it to somebody and uplifted them. $300 what I got out, that means I got $200 profit, or 200% return. This point, I said, I don't understand it, but I get it enough that if I can do $300, I can do $3,000. If I can do $3,000, I can do $30,000. I'm in. At this point, I was in. Didn't matter. For that amount of work with this security of a peer-to-peer platform, I thought I can do this. It took me 4 days. Now that was a little bit extreme. You can take a week, a month, 2. No, just do it in a week. Just do the system, follow it, get it done. Don't stress over it. Anybody can do it in 4 days. Anybody can do it in 1 day. Don't wait a month. It's entirely up to you. Here's what happens now. You see, you're already on once you've gone onto a perpetual position and you've received the as a legend, you've received $800. So this is your second time round on a $100 board. You're already on the $400. So this time, the gift that you're going to be holding back to put back into the economy is only $100 in order to remain on a perpetual position on another $100 board so that you can be receiving over and over again. The $400 goes to the legend on the second board, the silver board. When you become a legend, you're going to receive then $3,200. Now, how do you do this? Well, the people that are coming in as gifters are either going to be coming from $100 boards or perpetual positions because they've already finished a $400. So there's going to be new people and also people in their perpetual cycle here. The only way that you can influence the speed of your movement on this board is ensuring that the people that you introduced to, that's called a lineage. How do you move faster through the boards? You continue to help people. And for this amount of money, why on earth would you not? This is how the gifting works. $3,200 is what you've received. You're going to hold back $1,600. Remember, it's an economy. We want a flow of money. $1,600 gets you onto the gold board, $400 onto your perpetual silver board, leaving you with $1,200 in your pocket. Does this start making a difference in your life? No? Not yet? Tough crowd. Let's have a look if we can sort that out. What if you kept $2,800 back in your pocket every time you finished a perpetual cycle on your second or third or fourth or fifth? It carries on. Not bad. But now the numbers start getting exciting. $1,600 is what you're going to use to enter, not from your own pocket, from gifts you have received. $12,800 is what you're going to receive at the end of it. And this is how the money works. You're going to hold back $5,000. And I'm going to give you a strategy of how you do this shortly, because to budget becomes easier as you go, but the numbers are big. $5,000 in rands is about 75 or 80,000 rand. That is 4 times the national average income. It's a lot of money in any country. But I'm going to show you a strategy of how you can actually get there quicker. So $5,000 you're going to put onto the next board. I remember the first time I did this, it felt absolutely mind-blowing. And I loved I've never gifted that amount of money to anybody in my life before, apart from Gift of Legacy. It felt brilliant. Why did it feel brilliant? Because I know that only a matter of time that somebody's going to be gifting me $5,000. So $5,000 gets you entry onto the final board, the platinum, and $1,600 onto the gold, leaving you with a breathtaking $6,200 in your pocket. So I suggested to you at the beginning to write down any questions you have. If you've written anything down, cross them out. Put a line through it. They're irrelevant. Whatever you think you're clever enough to have written down, that you know how to break the system, or you've got a way that this doesn't work because of you, cross it out. It's irrelevant. Here's the only question that you will ask. Write this down. What do I need to do today to ensure that I have an extra $6,200 in my pocket by Christmas? Let me repeat. What do I need to do today to ensure that I have $6,200 extra in my pocket by Christmas? That is the only relevant question to ask anybody. All right. $11,200 is what you would receive after completing a perpetual cycle on the third board, because you're already on that gold, on the platinum board. You can only be on there once. So this time you're keeping it. And I've been there. It is phenomenal. It feels amazing. Over and over again, and off we go. This is where you have Gift of Legacy insomnia. You're lying awake at night. You're just thinking, how do I spend all this money? You used to lie awake at night going, where am I going to get money to pay my bills? What a reversal. 40,000 is what you get out. Now, being the final board, and you've completed the first cycle, it means that you're only gifting to get onto a perpetual position on another $5,000 board. You're keeping $35,000 in your pocket. Wow, how powerful is that? Here's the next slide. Whoops, sorry, I'm going backwards. Here's the next slide. Take a photo. Whoop, not this one. Here we go. $35,000 over and over and over again. Not bad. This is the slide. Take a photograph. I'm going to hold here. Take a screenshot, get your phone out. If you don't know how to screenshot your laptop, take a picture of it. Save it, print it. Print it up and stick it on the ceiling above your bed. Every night when you lie in bed, you're going to look at that and going, what do I need to do tomorrow to get closer to that? When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is going to be that on the ceiling, and you say, what do I need to do today to get me closer to receiving these gifts? Only question you need to ask. Here's the summary. Can you see now how on your first cycle $42,700 is possible for everybody, and $49,700 on your continuous cycles for anybody? It is not a matter of, oh, I got in first and because I got started earlier than everybody else, I'm making all the money. No. Anybody starting today can do it more effectively, quicker, faster, have a better lineage, have nicer friends and family than I do, who you bring in, and you move on faster and you get more money gifted to you than I have or anybody else being around. It entirely depends on what you put in. But the income is possible for absolutely everybody who joins. So a quick summary. First cycle, you gift $100, invite people. The perpetual positions, once you've completed your first cycle, you will be auto-joined onto your higher board first. So from the $100 you finished, the system will automatically put you on the $400. Once you've gifted the legend on the $400, you're going to be then auto-joined onto your perpetual $100 position. Then you gift the legend on there. It's highly recommended you do this within 24 hours. Me personally, I do it immediately. I've got the money. I put myself on the board, or I want the systems put me on the board. I get hold of the legend immediately and I gift immediately. I would like to treat the legend the same as the way I would like others to treat me when I'm legend and they're coming on as gifter. Straight away. Why not? You've got the money. Move it on so you don't spend it. Perpetual positions ensures integrity and sustainability of gift of legacy. And very important, if you complete the first board and you haven't brought your 2 confirmed gifters in, you're going to be sidelined. You're not going to be able to move on anywhere else. Now, why would you do that just for $800? Are the other sums not more life-changing than just $800? So what makes us different? Very user-friendly, very simple, straightforward system. You can ask the person who invited you to show you, and you'll realize that, wow, it's so simple. It makes it simple because there's no money on the platform. There's a board splitting system, which you will see helps that nobody leaves behind. I showed you when I went on to the $100 board in a perpetual position and how it helps the boards that are a little bit slower. I would, however, not wait for the algorithm to fill the slower spaces because, well, you can. But do you want to do this fast or do you want to do this slow? No, Tim, I want to do it fast. Then follow the set system. Don't wait around. Don't say my board's not moving. Do the work. And when you go to your job, your boss pays you. If you go to your job and you don't do anything, do you still get paid? Well, maybe 1 month, but not the next month. Why, when you're doing gift of legacy, would you do nothing and expect to get gifted? It doesn't work like that. Cross-pollination is an amazing system that has been created where around the world through the global community, you can be added to other people's boards and you'll be gifting. And I've met some amazing people. That actually one of the added benefits apart from the money is the people that you meet. Don't limit yourself to 2 people. You want to do this faster, bring in 10, bring in 20. There's no limitation, but it's just a minimum is all that you need in order to be able to have the system working. We have a community support team as well, who are all volunteers. So if you do get hold of the support people for some assistance or questions, it firstly means that you haven't done the research yourself because we've got all the answers, and I'm going to show you where you get the answers shortly. But if you do, just remember they're volunteers. They're not paid. Just like I'm not paid, Joy's not paid. None of us are. We're just part of the community. This is how we give back. Now, fast tracking is that strategy I mentioned earlier on. So let's say that you are coming into the system, you've gifted $100, you're on the system, you introduced your 2 people, but you're still on your first board and you want to move on faster. You've got an extra $400 in your pocket, fantastic. You can move over to the silver board even before you are a legend on the bronze board, the first one. You can gift the legend to fast track your movements. That's one strategy if you've got the money. If you don't have the money, wait till you've got your first 4 gifts. Now remember the board splits, so it doesn't matter which side they come from in this for doing your fast track. Once you've got your first 4 gifts, that's $400. Take that $400 before you spend it, before it goes to debts and to the rent and to school fees and to fix the car or the dog's sick. You don't want to struggle with that, because then how are you ever meant to get higher income in order to get out of the situation you find yourself in? What do? You gift the legend on the $400 as soon as you've received your 400. What do you do when you've received your first 4 gifts as a legend on the $400 board? You take those 4 by 4, 1600, and you gift the legend immediately onto the 1600. It fast tracks you. When I did this onto the platinum board, before I'd finished my gold board, I actually had already moved up from gifter to builder position by the time my gold board was finished. How does it get better than this? A couple of important points for you. No promoting on social media. Social media typically attracts the people who are jumping around, looking for the next system, scheme, scam, way to make a quick buck, and the next shiny object. They're not the right like-minded people. It needs to be somebody you know that you would like to work alongside forever. No cross-recruiting, meaning that as you meet other people and you're part of another organization, you don't go and take those people and say, oh, come over to this one, you can make more money here. We don't do that. That is not operating with integrity or credibility. You're welcome to do whatever you want with people that you know, that you bring in, but you do not go to other people. That's called cross-recruiting, and there's potential for you to actually lose your position. You don't want to do that. It is very short-sighted. Don't bring space fillers in. A space filler is your 6-year-old daughter, unless you are going to bring in 2 people for your 6-year-old daughter. So you can't just fill your 2 positions with your budgie and your 6-year-old daughter, your great granny and your 6-year-old daughter, unless you are going to manage those as well. So what's recommended at the beginning, your first 2 people, bring in 2 who are going to work alongside you. Add in the other people for your daughter to then have some more money when she's 18, whatever it may be. Do that much later once you understand the system fully and you're going through all the cycles. You don't need to tell people all about this. In fact, I urge you, do not speak to anybody. Yes, I said that right. All that you're going to do is bring them onto the next Zoom, and we'll share that with you where they are now. Be the messenger, not the message. We've got systems and procedures who are going to help you so that you do not need to explain it. After a year and a half of being around gifting, of being around businesses, I do not explain this to anybody. All I do is invite them to a Zoom. I let the system do the work for me, because that's duplicatable. Make sure you're attending live presentations. Make sure you're watching the recordings if you can't get online. This keeps you connected. You must be trained. Trained always beats untrained. If I have a look as who moves through the system, who is getting gifts, those are the people who are trained, who are paying attention, who are on the presentation. The people who are moaning and complaining, nothing's happening, I'm not doing anything, no, I'm not getting anything, they are doing nothing. It is 99.9% guaranteed. Participate in your own rescue. It's important to understand there's no guarantees. Success or failure of any participant is it's all up to you. Make sure that you're compliant with your tax laws in your country. We can't talk about it because it varies in every single country. But when you're receiving gifts of the sums, you can't hide it. It will get recognized by your local authorities. Gift of Legacy operates without any third-party affiliation, ownership, partnership. You don't need submarines, you don't need buses, you don't need any other fancy aeroplanes or ships in order to get you there. Just follow the system for the integrity of the system. And this is the way it's created. If you believe that you can do this better, you're welcome to go and create your own gifting economy. I've seen multiple of them pop up and die. 9 months later, we're still going and we are strong. Joy, have I stolen some of your thunder? You're still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
So there's actually a slide that I've dropped in here called Linktree, which is going to be launched tomorrow. Have you seen this, Joy?
No, I got it too late to have a look at it.
Okay,
I actually haven't seen it yet, no. It's
an amazing tool that the team has put together where all the information you could ever want is in one place. So let's finish this. I'm going to hand over to you, and then at the end, I'm actually going to go onto Linktree and show you and everybody else what this means and how easy the team has made it for us to be able to benefit from GR. Do you want to talk about Love Hearts, or should I talk about Love Heart?
No, I'll talk about Love Heart. Give you a break. You can have a sip of tea now. I guess your tea's nearby, your water. Okay, as Tim said, we are a gifting community, and there's a major and a huge need out there. So what Gift of Legacy has done is you can donate to a charity of your choice or any welfare organization of your choice. But once you've successfully invited your own 2 people, your 2 like-hearted invitees, then you can sponsor a cause that's very close to your heart. And then you just help them to get their 2 people without the need to get 2 invitees for that love heart position. That you will then sponsor that position. So that organization that you choose to sponsor can then get money. It is an incredible initiative that Gift of Legacy have done. Absolutely amazing. And there are lots and lots of people out there who are being helped by the Love Heart community. As Tim said just now, there's so much that can help you with Gift of Legacy. There are the Zoom calls every single solitary day of the week. Doesn't matter what language you speak, no matter which part of the world you live in. As you know, we're in 107 countries throughout the world. And you can just see on this slide, we've got presentations, we've got orientation workshops, we've got Afrikaans Zooms, Zulu Zooms in the Asia Pacific rings, there's Spanish weekdays, there's German, Finnish, Italian, Portuguese, French. Wow, how can you ever not get a move on with this, with your Gift of Legacy? There's so much is done for you, and as they said earlier on, don't be the messenger. Just invite the folk to these Zoom calls. I mean, this is just phenomenal that they can. Also, the official Telegram groups on Telegram. There's 3 official groups. There's the official information only. There's official legacy testimonials. And the official, I can't read that top word there, Tim. Community. So there, all the work gets done for you. All you have to do is find your 2 like-hearted people to get them to join you.
That's it.
Just want to thank everybody for joining us. Tim, you wanted to carry on to talk about the new initiative. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to have a look at it.
No, that's
but
no
if
problem.
you would like to know more, then just the person who's invited you, just get back to them and get back to them and ask them just to help you further get into Gift of Legacy. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Joy.
Tim.
That's a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to stop the share here and we're going to go over to have a look what Linktree is. I've just got to find it. Bear with me quickly. So what I would urge everybody to do is understand how you find out what actually is going on here is by participating. And when I first joined, I'm just going to look for this. When I first joined and I didn't fully understand it, I knew that the only way, I can't find my Linktree now. I did open it. I'll find it now. The only way that, there we go. I was going to find out what was going on was actually participate. And $100 meaning that I was going to help somebody else by gifting it to them meant that there was no loss to me. So get involved. What do we have here? So this is what it's going to look like. Now, maybe not tomorrow, but then the next day, you'll actually find this under the Academy section. So the Academy is where all the information and the training is for you. And this is now every single link that you want. So where Joy said that you don't need to share the information. Well, what you've got here is a 90-second intro, 7-minute doodly overview, 22-minute overview. So nobody can say they don't have enough time. It's all there, roles and responsibilities. And when you click on Gift of Legacy A to Z document, there's every single piece of information, knowledge and training that you could ever need, all in one space. Have a look at our YouTube channel. The training is there, how to connect with people, how to talk to people, how to invite people, disclaimers, register. It is all here. This is a phenomenal, the presentations here, this is a phenomenal document, how to register, how to set up. So when I mentioned that there was a support team, I asked Merle, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we were doing a call. She does a lot of the support calls. How many of the questions does she get asked which could be answered from the academy and the information available. And she said 99% of them. Don't waste your time asking somebody and then expecting an instant answer. They're volunteers. They're not working 24 hours a day online. We're around the world. Go and have a look for the information. It is all here. The team have done a phenomenal job in giving us all of this information. So when you click on any of these, you'll see that there's videos. It's YouTube, so you can share this with anybody else that you want to. There's multiple different options. Go through it, have a look. It is all here for us. There's absolutely no excuse why we can't share this with absolutely everybody who is of like-minded, like-hearted than you. So thank you very much. Tomorrow evening we continue training. Thursday we've got the same perspectives but presented by two different people. So if you didn't connect with myself or Joy for whatever reason, you don't like my haircut, hey, that's fine. I don't mind. I've got thick skin. But don't let my haircut put you off for something which is truly life-changing. So I'm going to say thank you all very much. And Joy, pleasure. Thank you so much for having you co-host. Welcome to the presentation crew. And I know you're going to be doing great stuff as you help us all out. Have a great evening,
Very
everybody.
much, Tim. Thank you very, very much.